Then there was the never-stop railway. We spent the whole morning on that. We had two. Missus were afraid to get off. And then they had a circus with 3 rings. It was a fair worry in case you missed somewhat. I didn't miss much, I can tell thee. But it was about cross-eyed when it finished. Of thought went into Wembley. I don't know how much it did for world trade and that, but it was very educating. You could see everything there.
In the years that followed Versailles, the golden dream of a peaceful world achieved a local habitation. Its name, the League of Nations. This was to be the Parliament of Man, the Federation of the world. But from the first, its halls were haunted by age-old ghosts. Nationalism, jealousy, and suspicion. All nations pledged their faith in peace. But as they signed their treaties, it was not faith that filled their hearts, but fear. In London, the statesmen met and signed the Locarno Pact. Old allies and old enemies, side by side. It was a time of much forgiving, but no forgetting. In the Rhineland, the Allies were hauling down their flags. The forces of occupation were moving out. Germany was left to herself, to seek her own destiny, to find her own leaders. Fearful of the new, she clung to the old, elected the aged Hindenburg as Chancellor. But in the streets, the emblems of a defeated party were mute evidence that a new creed had taken root. This seemed no affair of Britain. In 1926, she had troubles of her own.
This is London calling the British Isles. The crisis. All efforts at compromise between the Trade Union Council and the government regarding the position in the coalfields have failed. We regret to have to announce that a general strike will begin tomorrow at midnight. This is London calling the British Isles. With all public transport paralysed, those who still had work to go to had to find their own means of getting there. The government's appeal for volunteers is being answered. Under police protection, many are already driving buses, trams and trains and operating other essential services. In the absence of newspapers, further news bulletins will be broadcast at frequent intervals. This is London calling the British Isles. After 5 days of strike, the deadlock continues. This morning, at the London docks, 500 volunteers unloaded a shipment of flour. Convoys, accompanied by armoured cars, carried these supplies to emergency distribution centres set up in London's parks. British Isles. The news has just been released from Downing Street that the leaders of the Trade Union Council have called off the general strike. Although there is much leeway to make up, the nation reports a day of good progress. In the coalfields, however, where the dispute first started, the strike continues.
"1926? I'll never forget it. Neither will the Australians. Hobbs and Sutcliffe, the whole team, in fact, were the heroes of the hour. After 15 years, we'd won the Ashes. The crowd went mad. Understandable, of course, but bad for the wicket.
Dear Fred, I'm having a wonderful holiday. Lucy took me to Wimbledon on Saturday to see Suzanne Lenglen. What a player. She makes it seem so easy. On Sunday, we had tea out at Richmond. It was a lovely day, and we had quite a party. Afterwards, we went on the river. Then on Monday, we saw the trooping of the colour. Another lovely day, and the uniforms looked gorgeous. Yes, dear, I know it's still the army, but you can say what you like. It is nice to see some of the colour and pageantry coming back into life.
Colour and pageantry are all very well in their way, but there's a limit. Monte Carlo, Deauville, and Le Touquet, or whatever they call the place. More and more they're going there, those endowed with more worldly goods than sense. Gambling, high living, and drink. These days, if you want to go to the devil, you can go there for £10. Return.